Hello everyone, my name is Zana and welcome back to another Delta Force video. My goal for today's video is to share with you the best ways to achieve a higher score in your games. I feel that applying a few of these strategies to your gameplay will improve your individual rounds, allowing you to call in more score streaks, rank up more efficiently, and help your team win more games. Killing vehicles is by far one of the most effective ways to increase your score per round. The funny part is, you don't even have to get the final hit on the vehicle to get major points. Simply applying damage or helping with the assist will rack up thousands of points in minutes. There are so many rounds I play where we have plenty of engineers on the team, but there is no pressure applied to the enemy vehicles, and they push us for free and steamroll us. One or two rocket shots go a long way to keep the vehicle out of the fight for just a few minutes. People will complain and say how difficult it is to solo kill a tank, but I do it all the time on stream. If the tank driver is more skilled and has engineers keeping him healthy, then sure, that's a different story, but let's be honest, that's a rare occurrence. You're not going to run into those players often, but even if you do, your team has 32 players to try and counter the difficult tank player. Bait out his active defense system and then pound him with rockets, flank his position with Viren bombs or D-Wolf blaster. Lock onto his position with a Recon Volt arrow to prevent the tank from pushing up. For anyone confused on that point, the devs changed Luna arrow in Season 2, so if you shoot her Volt arrow at a vehicle, it acts as a lock-on for launchers. So really, every class can contribute to killing the tanks, even the support class. Simply dropping an ammo box next to the engineer to resupply rockets helps more than you can imagine. I understand coordinating with randoms is almost impossible, but the reality is you don't need team coordination. You just need everyone to play their class role correctly. I'm going to pair this one in with the killing vehicles. I know this one sounds silly, but I've been playing vehicles more recently, and my friend repaired me all round, along with a few kills in the gunner seat. And he finished the round with more points than me, even though I was driving the tank the entire round and I had 80 kills. I'm not suggesting you follow a tank around all game, but I see engineers walk past vehicles in need of repair all the time. Stop for 5 seconds, pull out your repair tool, and heal the tank. Just do this every other life when you spawn in. Run to the tank, heal them up, and then carry on about your business. It takes little to no time, plus it will reward you with XP, points, on top of helping your team win the round. Think about how annoying it is dealing with a vehicle that won't die. Now imagine you have those vehicles on your team. Certain maps in Delta Force, you won't find any vehicles like Shafted and Knife's Edge. So what's the best way to earn high score in these situations? I say switch off of engineer and focus on the support class. Dropping ammo, heals, and smoking for revives is your new job. Some of you may think this is obvious, but you'd be amazed how many support players are completely oblivious to these simple mechanics. Also, just for quick reference, I run Stinger on the support class for access to the heal gun, extra smoke, and I finish off the class with the ammo box. Having unlimited ammo, heals, and smoke is a great kit if you ask me. The cooldowns for all class equipment is extremely low, so just spam your gadgets. There is no reason for you to hold on to that ammo box. If you spawn in, run past a group of players in a hallway, drop your ammo box on the way out the door. You'll pick up a couple points, help some teammates out, and by the time you actually need ammo, your cooldown will be refreshed. I talk about this a little bit in the last section, but even on the medic class, you can be one of the best tools for taking out vehicles. All you have to do is drop your ammo box. I want to specify using the ammo box over the pouch because the pouch is not worth using in my opinion. It resupplies one person and it doesn't replenish grenades or rockets. I find healing the team to be a bit of a challenge. You know how like everyone on the team fills a certain role? Some players like vehicles, others enjoy sniping. Then you have the medics, the zookers killing vehicles. You get the point. My position fits more into the killing the entire enemy team as many times as possible role. With that being said, if any of you have watched my gameplay, you know I do everything in my power to be a team player. I just enjoy fragging out. Anyways, getting back to the healing, Stinger obviously can do a great job with his heal gun, but what about running the healing gadgets? If you want to branch over to Toxic and try running the Medkit, I think it's a wonderful option. The Medkit is great for solo healing, and the cooldown is almost instant, so you can just spam it for free heals. This is a great way to approach constant back-to-back gunfights as an aggressive medic. Just don't forget to drop a couple here and there for your team as well. It goes a long way for the players and your score. Now let's say you play a little slower and want to play around objectives and groups of teammates. The Med Crate is most likely a better choice. You're able to heal groups of teammates for as long as the bag is placed. Keep in mind the enemies can destroy the bag and you can only have one on the ground at a time. There is also a small cooldown once the healing effect is procced, but this is for balancing reasons. So the healing is unlimited, it's just on a cooldown. This is still a great option for keeping your frontline players alive, and I didn't even realize until I made this video that the Med Crate gives ammo and replenishes class gadgets. I might have to switch to the Med Crate full time. Wrapping up the support class with one of the most important roles in the game, reviving. How many times have you been playing Delta Force and your friendly medic simply walks right over your body? It's disgraceful, I know. Unfortunately, I can't force people to revive, so what I'll do instead is tell you that reviving is a god tier way to increase your score, and you should do it whenever it makes sense. What I mean by that is not all revives are worth it. If you can't smoke the guy in the open field, odds are that situation will not work out in your favor. There is no sense in reviving a player that is just going to die instantly and probably get yourself killed in the process. You are just costing the team tickets, and this is not the correct way to revive players. Instead, consider checking the minimap around your downed ally for any enemies. Your teammate most likely got shot by someone, he didn't just fall over. So make sure you clear the area and take space to secure a safe revive. As a secondary measure, it's almost never a bad idea to lay down smoke. You don't need to spam smoke, but just enough to cover a revive or two. Even with these tips, there are some allies that are just not revivable, and that's okay. They have bad positioning, and they don't deserve to be revived. And I can say this because I'm that guy. Sometimes I just have bad positioning and die. That's okay. It's how you improve. Ah, yes. We have finally arrived at my favorite talking points. My all-time #1 way to rack up as many points as possible: kill the enemies. It's that simple. Having good aim helps, I won't deny that, but you want to know what really helps you get a ton of kills? Positioning. Being in the right place at the right time can net you with dozens of kills in a matter of minutes. The problem with Delta Force is having good positioning in the game is almost impossible. Every spot you stand, there are 50 different places you can get shot from at all times. That doesn't even include vehicles, score streaks, or snipers sitting 500 meters away. So how do I do it? I have specific spots on each map that I utilize to my advantage, certain rotations or strategies I use to try and get the most out of these maps. Is my gameplay perfect? Absolutely not. But I often find myself at the top of scoreboards in every game I play, so I must be doing something right. If you want me to dive deeper into these map strategies, let me know. I can try a separate video later on. As for the aiming part of this section, my best advice is to practice. Find a sense that feels comfortable and just practice. Hit the firing range a little bit, maybe shoot some bots, but most of all, make sure you're actually playing the game. You can sit in Kovacs for 3 months straight, but how familiar are you with in-game player movement and cooldowns? In-game knowledge will win you more gunfights than having the best aim, so make sure you're actually playing the game you want to improve in. The Recon class has been a huge talking point in Delta Force with the addition of Luna. Her Recon arrow is outright busted and needs to be removed from the game immediately. In fact, let's make all wallhack characters illegal in video games. It's a cheap mechanic that only makes the experience worse for every player. With that being said, Luna Recon arrow is a fantastic way to rack up points in this game. Every time you have the arrow, simply shoot it into the sky in a general direction of the enemies for free wall hacks and tons of points. If that wasn't crazy enough, the enemy will get spotted again within 3 seconds if they move at the wrong time. It's absolutely disgusting. I hate it, but it's in the game, so enjoy your free recon points. Similar to other combined arms games, you can 3D spot people as well, so I definitely recommend just spamming the hell out of your ping button. Speaking of spamming buttons, if you're enjoying today's video, please consider dropping a like and subscribing for more content. Also, if you're looking for live gameplay, I stream every week, twitch.tv/ZenaFPS. I also post on TikTok, Twitter, and I have a Discord if you're interested. I really appreciate your support. Pinging enemies is just an overall buff to your experience. You can see them for free on the minimap. They're also much easier to see in-game because personally, I have a hard time seeing people in this game. On top of that, getting extra points if your teammate gets the kill, so you get bonus assists just for spotting people. There is literally no downside to spotting enemies, so just make sure to include this for every class and every single map in the game. Spawn beacons have always been one of my favorite pieces of equipment. In the right spots, you can have endless flanks and the enemy has no idea how to stop it. Having one recon in your squad is always a great option. At the very least, you get an extra place to spawn. You get some okay points from the Recon Class beacon, but the real score comes from the team beacons, which you can place through the score streak menu or through the assault truck, but I like to call it the battle bus. A well-placed team beacon will reward you with several thousand points, not to mention your team will storm whichever objective you place it next to. Keep this in mind when you're having trouble taking the cave point on Ascension or the last sector of trench lines. These beacons can win games. From my experience, you can only lose points if you leave a round that you've been actively playing in for a set amount of time. So if you join a game, play for 10 minutes, and then leave, you're going to lose 25 points or so. However, if you join a fresh game, let's say shafted defense, no one wants to play that, so you leave immediately, and sometimes you lose no points, or maybe a couple, like 5, which, it's not a big deal. Past that, once you reach higher ranks, like General, you'll have to achieve a higher score per minute in order to gain positive merit. This is where combining all of these tips into one round really comes into play. If you follow any of these methods, I guarantee you will see yourself higher on the scoreboard. I also just wanted to mention, Delta Force does not offer a legitimate rank experience, at least not yet. High rank for the majority of players comes down to playtime. If you play the game enough, you'll reach the highest rank. Think of ranked more like a points mode. You play well during the round, you gain more points, you rank up quicker. If you don't get enough points, you start to stagnate. That's all I have for y'all today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider dropping a like, as it really helps YouTube let other people know that this video is worth checking out. If you haven't already, check out my gun builds, and I'll have my social links in the description if you'd like to follow. Thank you all for the amazing support. I'll see you in the next one.